Have you ever felt like you're coming down with something, like you just know that cold or flu is coming? Well, I have a solution for you. Actually, I have lots of solutions. If you go visit healingharvesthomestead.com and just do a search for cold, a ton of things will come up. But recently I was traveling and I started to get sick, very sick. Actually, I had the green mucus and I could feel, the cold sores coming on, which happens when I'm under a lot of stress. It was an emergency trip. It wasn't a fun trip. But I immediately ran to the store. I happened to be in a big city, so not where I am right now, in a small town, but I was in a big city, and there were a couple of Whole Foods. Actually, I think I was in Las Vegas, and I think Las Vegas now has about 4 Whole Foods and several Sprouts stores. And I was staying at my son's place, and I was near a Sprouts. So I ran into Sprouts, and I picked up this elderberry tincture as my main recourse against, this cold that was coming on, this illness. And that's because elderberry boosts your immune system quite quickly if you use enough of it in acute situations. Well, this little bottle cost me $25. It's a 1 ounce bottle, 25 bucks. And as an herbalist who makes all of our own home remedies, I was floored. And so I'm going to share with you today a remedy that you can make yourself, and it's going to be wonderfully strong and powerful. It does take about a month to 6 weeks, but start now. Get it going now, and you're going to be ready, and you're not going to have to be doing like me and running to the store and getting a really expensive $25 for 1 ounce bottle of elderberry tincture. And I just have to say, the recipe I'm going to show you here probably ends up costing maybe $5 at the most, depending on if you have to buy your herbs or not, which I don't, because I grow a lot of mine. But even if you have to buy the herbs, you're looking maybe $7, $8 for the amount of herb you're going to use. And you're going to end up with about a pint, okay, which is 16 ounces or so of tincture. That's very, very powerful. 16 times 25, well, I'm not a mental mathematician anymore, but you figure that out, versus $25 for 1 ounce. So anyway, let's get on with this. I'm going to show you how to make an elderberry and echinacea tincture, and we're going to talk about the differences too between elderberry and echinacea, and how they're different and how they should be used. Hi, I'm Heidi from Healing Harvest Homestead, and you are here at my YouTube channel, which I'm starting to get going, and I would love it if you would subscribe. Anyway, I'm going to be sharing some of the things that we do here on our homestead with you. One of the things that I love to share about is how to use herbs safely and effectively for your health and your wellness. Mr. V and I, my husband, we've been able to basically stop taking over-the-counter medications at all, because we make everything ourselves. And even some prescription medications we supplement with our herbs, and we've actually gotten rid of a lot of health problems. So it's just thrilling to have this kind of empowerment and confidence, and I want to help you get that too. Anyway, today I was actually getting ready to make some tincture of echinacea and elderberry, and I thought, oh, I'll just go ahead and do a quick video for you. I don't have any prepared already, so you're not going to see me strain it off, but I'll explain that. But first of all, let's go ahead and talk about these 2 herbs. A lot of people ask, well, number 1, are they really effective? And number 2, which one's better? Should I use echinacea or should I use elderberry? And so we're just going to go ahead and talk really quickly about both of them. So this is echinacea root. This is Echinacea angustifolia. You can also use Echinacea purpurea. This comes from the coneflower, and many of you in America may have it growing right in your yards. It's a traditional Native American remedy. The whole plant is useful, and it's extremely well known for its immune boosting properties. And the big question is, does it work? The answer is yes, it does if you use it right. Echinacea is not one of those herbs that you can just take on an ongoing basis and hope that you're going to have an immune system that's continually boosted. That's not how Echinacea works. Echinacea works by helping some elements in your blood boost your immune system throughout your body. So that's just the easy general term. There's a lot more science that goes into it than that, of course, but it's a great antibacterial herb. In Germany, there have been lots of studies done on Echinacea, and they have clinically proven that it's effective when used appropriately. So again, this is not something you're going to use every single day. You're going to use this when you start feeling like you're getting sick. Over here, I have just a few dried elderberries. I've got to dry some more. Elderberry harvest season has come to an end, and I've got some gallons stored away in the freezer, and basically I'm going to boost up our elderberry syrup and things like that. If you're interested in elderberry syrup, I have some great recipes on my website over at healingharvesthomestead.com for oxymels and syrups and things like that that you can make with elderberry. But right now, I want to talk about the tincture. So these are dried berries, and this is what I prefer to use when I'm tincturing elderberry. Some herbalists believe that there are cyanoglycosides found in the berries and definitely the leaves and stems of the elder tree or shrub. And basically, I have never had any trouble consuming the berries, even raw, but they can cause some stomach upset. So with that said, I just, use dried elderberries for my tinctures and my teas. And then I use the fresh berries when I want to make syrup. In terms of what elder is good for, it is definitely a very, very good immune booster. And elderberry can be used on an ongoing basis in small amounts. So if you want to keep your immune system strong and healthy, you can take a little bit every single day. And what I like to do is just take the syrup. And really, a lot of people experience not ever getting sick. When you do start getting sick, elderberry is useful for, again, boosting your immune system, and you can actually take a little bit more of it and increase your dosage at that point. But when you combine elderberry and echinacea, you've got a powerful mixture. Oh, one more thing about elderberry. It's a very good antiviral. So while echinacea is more of an antibacterial, elderberry is more of an antiviral. And so, when you go to the doctor and the doctor tells you, oh, gee, I don't know if you've got a cold or the flu or a bacterial infection or a viral infection, and then they go ahead and they prescribe an antibiotic to you regardless. I've had that happen a few times. Well, guess what? Knowing that you've got a strong antibacterial and a strong antiviral, you don't have to worry about it. You just, take care of your lifestyle changes like getting enough rest, getting good sleep, eating well, nice hot chicken soups. Take your tincture or your teas, and you know what? That cold's going to be gone before you know it. By the way, if you want a really good cold and flu care ebook, you might want to check out the shop on my website, healingharvesthomestead.com, because I do have a book for sale there. It's really inexpensive. I think it's like $8. But I go through the whole entire cold and flu process from before you get sick, so how to, not get sick in the first place, to what happens when you just feel one coming on, then what happens when you're dealing with full-on symptoms, and finally how to get it to stay gone for good. One mistake people often make is, their cold is going away, they're feeling much better, and then all of a sudden they get active again, and bam, that cold or flu comes right back. So there are things you can actually do herbally to keep your cold and flu gone. But anyway, let's talk about this tincture. So a tincture is an herbal preparation that's made with alcohol, all right? Since these are roots and berries, hard materials, I'm going to go ahead and use 100 proof vodka for this. Now, this means that it's 50% water and it's 50% alcohol, which is a really nice combination of water and alcohol. Different solvents are going to extract different chemical constituents from the plant. And water and alcohol work very, very differently. So when you've got a kind of a mid-proof alcohol like this, 80 proof to maybe like 120 proof alcohol, what you're doing is you're actually combining water and alcohol together in your tincture to extract most of the plant constituents, depending on the plant you're using, of course. Some herbs don't extract well in either, and I'll be doing more videos on herbs, so you don't need to worry about that. Well, what you do is I like to fill my jar up about halfway full with my dried herb. Now, if I was using fresh, I'd be filling it, you know, pretty close to, you know, an inch within the top. But since these are dried, I'm going to go ahead and just fill it halfway full. I'm going to pour my alcohol over the top to within about an inch. And then I'm going to shake it up really well. I'm going to be sure to label it because I can't tell you how many times I thought I would remember what I put in a jar, and I don't later on. So I've learned definitely to label what's in here, how it's made, and I always put the date that I made it and the date I expect it to be finished as well. So what you can expect with dried roots and berries like this is some expansion. So when the plants start expanding in here, you know, I'm going to see my herbs increase to probably about 3/4. I'm going to let this steep for 4 weeks minimum, and most likely more like 6 unless I start getting sick earlier. And then I'm going to strain it off, and at that point I'm going to bottle up the liquid. And the way you're going to use this is for an adult dose. An average dose, if you are taking it as you're starting to become sick, would be 3 droppers full. It's about, well, that's about a half a teaspoon. I would take that 3 times a day. And then for children, I actually have a dosage chart on my website, healingharvesthomestead.com, but you're going to adjust by the weight of the child. So, you know, you can go ahead and do that. And I'll do another video later on dosing herbs for children, because you don't want to give them too much. And it's actually better to start off on the smaller side. So anyway, this is how you make an Elderberry Echinacea tincture. Again, it's going to take about a month to finish up, and it's going to taste delicious. The liquid's actually already starting to turn purple from the elderberries, which is awesome. And we'll be sharing more later. Please subscribe to my channel. If you would like to join a free herbal education group on Facebook, just look up Practical Herbs with Heidi. It's a really fun group, very active over there. And if you want to become a student, I have some herbal courses in development, and I've actually got one out right now, plus I've got a plant membership where I also include herbal information, and I have a fabulous student Facebook group with tons of support. It's a really fun group, so I'd love to have you join us there. Either way, stay tuned for more self-reliance and homestead topics, more herbal stuff, more natural life stuff. Got this place set up to do soaps and salves and lotions, and we're going to be doing a lot of fun things in this room since I finally got it set up. So anyway, I'm Heidi, Healing Harvest Homestead. It was great talking with you. If you have questions or comments, go ahead and leave them below, and I look forward to hearing from you.